Yo, and welcome to another edition of the Match Reaction Show. I am your co-host T, and I'm joined here by my man Patrick. Patrick, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you? I'm good.
I'm
How are you?
good, man. I'm good. So, final score 1-1 Palace to Brentford. Definitely what we would consider a disappointing point to be taken from the match that we saw. Uh, Patrick, just give me your initial insights from what you saw.
Um, Disappointing, obviously, not to hold on. Didn't have an issue with the lineup necessarily because of the Mitchell not able to start but come on late. I guess at left back made sense. We played well at left back. Defensively, most of the game we had chances to score more than one goal. Couldn't. Great goal by Wilf.
Mhm.
Um, I can't wait to hear the negativity about the subs. I don't have an issue about that. We can chop that up in a bit. But I thought defensively we dropped off as a team. I don't care what anybody said. You can say five in the back is defensive. It's not. It's to get. Sorry, to get the win. But I thought that just Gahey, Anderson, and Ward in that goal just properly. Having played really well all three of them for the entire match. But again, I'm absolutely sure everyone's going to be blaming the manager. So we'll go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people are going to say awful match and things like. I don't think it was an awful match at all because it was a very convincing performance up until a certain point. Um, I am of the ilk that we shouldn't have changed our style of play because of the fact that it's what led to the putting us in a situation where we made the mistake to give up a goal. I thought with the way that we had been playing was perfectly fine. I mean, they only had one shot on goal the entirety of the match, and I think a
Right.
lot of that was due to how we were playing. But naturally, in the sport in the game, when you decide to go all out defense and soak up pressure, you're going to allow opportunities, and that was something that Brentford needed. They didn't have the opportunities prior to the times when we were in a different formation, a different setup. I don't necessarily think the substitutes were bad. I just didn't like the fact that we changed the way that we played in doing so. To be honest, because I thought we were defending just fine. And I don't know. Like when you look at the when I saw the freeze frame of the moment when they were put in the cross, like you said, the defending's got to be better
Gotta be better.
because because Joachim is looking at the player who's about to kick the ball. He has nobody near him.
What's going on behind him? Right.
He's not aware of anything
Right.
around him.
Right.
Gahey's effectively defending two people,
Right.
and Tyrus on the backside worried about the dude that's way on the outside who won't even
Right.
have any bearing on the play.
On that cross. Right.
And my thought is, do they handle that differently if Anderson knows that he doesn't have three people and it's just maybe him and one other guy?
Right.
I don't know. I guess we'll never know. That's one of the things we'll never know. But I don't know. I feel like when we took the opportunity to try and defend from, I mean, was it maybe the 80th minute when we really went to the five at the back?
It was. It was exactly actually looking at
I feel like we're trying to make maybe like 10
79th is
minutes.
when Mitchell came on. He was the last.
Mm-hmm.
It was so his last 11 minutes plus injury time. But here's the thing, though, right? The game on Saturday against Man City, where we ran for 90 minutes, didn't have it, hardly had the ball. Most of the players that played today played against Man City.
Mm-hmm.
If he makes no subs at all, he gets criticised for not making subs. Against Villa, he did a very similar sub, brought on Richards instead of bringing on Mitchell. We went five in the
Mitchell.
back against
Yep.
them, and it was
Mm-hmm.
fine. Again, I get what happened last year. People complain about what happened last year against Arsenal. But again, that was a singular play that you just very well described. That doesn't change if he doesn't make a sub. It doesn't change with Olise still on the pitch or so people can comment about being poor or the subs being poor. He was trying to see out the game. It had worked previously at home. Brentford had not done anything for us, so I don't know what else. Again, he doesn't make the sub, he gets criticized. He makes the sub, he gets criticized. You really can't win. I get people frustrated. I am too, because I want to get the 3 points. I'm not going to go
Definitely.
all crazy like some people are. We're going to get relegated. We can't beat
We're
Newcastle.
a point
Blah blah
outside the
blah.
top 10, right?
Uh, we are in 13th place. I mean, I wrote it down. Hold on. We are currently in 13th, right? 5 points out of the top 10. I mean, again, people want to overreact. Come on, have your say. No problem. I'm calm. I've turned on plenty of Palace managers in the past. Plenty of them. So I might turn on Vieira. I'm not doing it now. I'm not. As my son said on Twitter just now, we need more players. We are missing. We are missing a left back backup, a central midfielder, and possibly a forward. Okay, but we need players. So today we had Phillips and Rodney on the bench.
Rodney.
Hughes, no gyro. If you guys want to go back and check out the video that D and I did before the match about gyro, he'll be off. It's a real shame. But we need numbers. Vieira's been saying that. But again, it's a work in progress. We are 5 games in. We have 5 points. Yeah, we should be in the top 10. Blah blah blah. I get all that.
Long season though.
It was going to be a tough start, and we targeted this the Villa game 3 points, and obviously this game to get 6 points. We didn't obviously target the Liverpool for getting anything, or City or Arsenal, and we got the point up for Liverpool. I'm not going to go crazy, T. No. Again, you want to call in, you want to come on or comment, that's great. But I'm not going to go crazy because again, did it work out perfectly? No. But I always, as a former coach and player, I like to blame a lot of stuff on the players on the pitch. And for me, that play was poorly defended. It just was. You have a great. You want to share the quote that Zaha said at the end of the game?
Yeah. Basically, and he said that as soon as we scored our goal,
right,
we then decided to do nothing but defend, and I don't understand why we do that. Is what he said.
Yeah. Say he made a sub. He said as soon as we scored the goal was not scored. This goal was scored.
Yeah.
What 58th minute? What I mean, so it's not. That's a mindset of the players. That's not the manager's mindset. That's the players. Again, if you want to blame the manager, go ahead. But I mean, I agree with him. I don't know what happened. We scored a great goal. Oh, we had a couple of chances. No, Elise had a shot wide, shot over. Eze had a chance to shoot, didn't shoot. Zaha, but again, he's right. We got up and we didn't press it. But again, that's not because of the subs. But again, as D always says, it's all about opinions. Everybody can have theirs, and feel free to have yours today.
And I think sometimes it's like in that situation, you really got to flip the switch because when he decided to make those substitutions and change the formation and the tactics, you gotta understand what the task in hand is. You gotta flip that switch. So I get what you're saying because, like you said, the players gotta understand. Hey, I gotta be sound in this area in order to see this out. So I mean, I completely understand that part. Right. So we're gonna bring on our first guest. We're gonna bring on CJ. CJ, you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome back, CJ.
Hi.
So, CJ, just give us your initial thoughts about what you saw out there.
First off, I thought both teams lacked quality. Brentford are very well organised, so we didn't get the break on them quick enough. So we didn't break on them quick enough for us to create many chances, and I feel like that's what we have to do against them. There was targeting Joel Ward's side, which I knew would happen because I keep saying we need another left back, more like priority over anything else, because the drop off in quality from Mitchell to I love Ward, but the drop off in quality from Mitchell to Ward is significant, and if we're playing a better team, that's not good at all. That's a really big weakness. I feel like we switched things up second half. We got at them a bit more. We scored the goal, and I kept saying like we need to score. We need a second now because I knew how the end of the game. I knew how the end of the game was going to go. It will be better get a last minute equaliser. No matter what subs we bring on, I thought that would have happened. So we needed the second, and then I would have sort of agreed more with bringing the 5 defensive subs on, but I felt like we needed the second to kill the game off, really. But I feel like it's 2 points dropped, to be honest. So
quickly, see, just to correct you or just to make a comment, there weren't 5 defensive subs. We only brought on Mitchell and Luke brought on Ayu and Edward. We made 4 subs, so 2 of them actually were more attacking. So it seems that way looking back on
It
it. We
does
only
seem
made
that way, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it does because we lost the goal, dropped the 2 extra points, but it wasn't the defense that people want to make it out to be. But I totally get how people are having that conception in their mind, well, perception that oh yeah, we were defensive, but we really weren't. I mean, the Luca one being probably the most defensive, and he wasn't great today, unfortunately. But again, it wasn't like it was purely defensive. He wanted to keep the ball. Now, what he tried to do, obviously, he tried to put Edward out more to the left, move Wilf up top, which works because he holds the ball up and get forward. But we didn't keep the ball enough. I mean, our midfield was non-existent up when we made, So
And the thing about it, and the thing I've been saying since the Roy days is that Luca can't play in the midfield too. He can't.
Him and Decoy would have been today, right?
Yeah, and then they had him and Decoy in there, and he can't maintain possession. He can't move the ball. He can't. He's not that type of guy to be able to handle that. That's why he plays better in the midfield 3. So I think that was, like I said, once again, it wasn't necessarily the substitution itself I had a problem with. It was just the system in which the substitutions were being used.
Yeah, I agree.
If we would have brought in Luca and kept him in the midfield 3 and maybe let Decoy play a little bit further up the pitch, I'd have been fine with that. Because then we still have the opportunity to move the ball and maintain possession.
And again, I don't want to act like I'm killing Luca. I'm looking at the stats now, and the stats can say what they want. He was 10 for 11 passing, 1 for 1 tackles, 1 for 2 accurate balls. Statistically, he wasn't poor. It just seemed that way because he get the goal. I'm not trying to scapegoat Luca. I know people on here like to do that. I'm not doing it. I'm just saying that we just couldn't keep the ball from the Wilf goal, basically. When Wilf from that
point on. And I think that's what he meant by we just ended up defending because we couldn't maintain possession. Therefore, we had to defend.
Do you think that's a mindset thing? Though, like to sitting back straight after the goal, because we've had this in a few games where we've just sat back straight away.
It's a great point because somebody pointed out I think we dropped 7 points from winning positions. Obviously, we were up against Liverpool, up against City, and then up today. Yep. But I'm not. I have to eliminate Liverpool and City. I think you get out of those 2 matches a bonus. But you have to harken back to last year. He's only his 2nd year in the league, Vieira. Last year we did have that bugaboo at home. I can go over, Brighton, Arsenal away. We dropped at home. We dropped points from winning position. So I'm hoping it doesn't come back for us. But again, I think this team as general is having growing. I think that's just part of, I mean, it's the 2nd year of the same manager, but I still think it's part of, learning to be a better team.
Yeah, I think because they played so long under a defensive system as well, it takes a while for them to get out of that mindset.
Yeah, because I mean, it honestly, the match itself, it felt like the Palace of old, because we had those matches where we would be fortunate enough to get that 1 goal, and it's like, hey, batten down the hatches, we just got to see this out. It felt that way and then we always concede like 85th minute plus. You know what I mean? It's like to a point where when Wissa scored the goal, I didn't even react. I was just kind of like,
honestly, I knew it was coming.
Same way. I'm not gonna lie. Same way. I just like, okay, that was coming.
We nearly lost the game. We nearly lost the game because they hit the bar as well.
Hit the crossbar. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, we did. And like I said, like those moments where they got the shot off the crossbar, and Tony had the opportunity that he ended up whiffing on it. You know what I'm saying? Those things, like, they're getting those opportunities because we're inviting them to have those chances. You know what I'm saying? Like I tweeted it earlier, and I think and I'm not comparing us to like a Liverpool or a Man City, but the thing that makes those teams really special and makes them who they are is that they play their game all the time.
Yeah, I feel like you've got to have the players to do that. Though. Like,
I mean,
we
but
can't.
We had the player. We did it the entire game. They only had 1 shot on goal with the way we played the entire game. So why switch from something?
Yeah, but I agree. I agree, but if you bring like the subs we're bringing on, it's not like it's not like for like quality. Do you know what I mean?
But okay. Think about this. We had Joe Ward at left back. We had Clown on the opposite side. If you want to bring in Mitchell for Joe Ward.
Yeah,
Mitchell slots in at left back. If you want to bring in Luca, you can bring Luca in for either Eze or Schlupp. That's fine. Have Luca play in the center. Let Decore go up the field. That's fine. We still bring in Edward up top. We still bring in IU, we're still in our 4-4-3.
But what I'll say, it's a great point, T. What I'm going to say is, and I had this discussion with D, who's in, I see he's in the waiting room there, is that you've got to give credit to other team and their manager for changing tactics. On Saturday, people want to talk about Man City first half, second half. Did people realize in the second half that
they changed up things?
Yeah, but we were making them. We were making them.
They changed it up. Frank the same way. Just now, Frank made 5 subs.
Yeah,
Frank,
exactly.
So before, you know what I mean? So you got to give them credit for changing it. So we have to adjust to that. I get that part, which is what I think Vera tried to do. But they made changes to be more aggressive because they knew they only had 1 shot on goal, wanted to get back in the game, they wait to pass, etc. So we can't just say it was on us. You've got to give the other team credit for making it's not fair.
Very true.
Yeah, exactly. And they always make those attacking souls really late when their teams are tired and, leggy.
Right.
So before we let you go, CJ, who will be your man of the match, and what would you want to see done differently heading into the weekend?
Well, they gave the man of the match to Decore, which I agree with.
Oh, he was
completely.
He was running the midfield, winning all of his duels.
He had goal too.
Exceptional.
Would he get an assist for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great ball to Will. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, he made this one duel where he just won the ball and he sort of just fell over, but he just kept the ball as well.
The one where he passed it across.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And the funny thing, today's the first match he's draw a foul. I've never seen him foul a player. He just makes tackles. Actually, I actually remember him actually getting called for a foul today.
Yeah, that was his. That was like the one where he got carded. That was the first one, the first duel that he didn't win. That was the one duel he didn't win. So CJ, what would you want to see different heading into the weekend? Man?
Oh, we've got Man United, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle.
Oh God.
Almost as bad.
What would I change? Oh, I'd say I'd have the same system today because they're gonna, as much as I've slated it. I think we need to be. They've got a lot of. They've just bought in that striker Isaac, whatever his name is. I'm not sure he'll be fit to play, but. Hopefully it's going to be a difficult game, another physical game. I'm not sure we'll start Elise. I think you might need to start. I'd start Mateta over Edouard. He offers more as a whole than Edouard. And I'd keep everything else the same. Oh, God, I hope Mitchell's fit enough to start at left back because, God, I can't. But it's going to be a long game.
To be fair, Joel Ward was solid today.
He did well, but I'm just worried about him.
There was never a time when Brian Mbeumo scared me. I would say that there was never a time when Mbeumo scared me.
But I think that can only go for so long without. Or he could be absolutely skinned and lead to a goal, or he could be absolutely skinned and he gets a stupid booking.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, good. We appreciate it, CJ. Appreciate you tuning in and coming on and talking. We're looking forward to hearing from you next time. All right.
Thank you.
Jay. Appreciate it.
All right.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. So everybody else, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everyone's support.
Absolutely.
Boy, he look happy. Look at his face. It's just a game, mate. Why are you so serious?
That was that's frustrating. That is frustrating.
I get that, but
come on,
man. It's football.
Patrick, that's all on us. That is all on us. This season, I have expectations. Let me just land with my points, and afterwards you can agree, disagree. This season, I have expectations. This season, I believe in this team. I have belief in the manager. I have belief in the players. Today, neither side played great. In the first half, there was no energy. But at the end of it, Wilfried Zaha's magic made the difference in terms of the goal. We got that goal. We were in control over the game. I don't want to sit here and pretend that it wasn't our fault. It was 100% our fault that we gave away that lead. That feels like a defeat. Why on earth are you making that many subs in the 75th minute You can make 1 or 2, but why not? Like, why not if we're changing it all up? Brentford would never pressurizing us. There was never like a fear factor that I was saying, oh, Brentford are coming through. We invited them onto us. We went 5 at the back. We put Wilf and Edward together up front, and we basically gave up the game. We got rid of Elise, Eze, brought on Jordan Ayew, brought on Luke. It went so crazy defensive. We brought on Mitchell and took off Elise. Why? We're playing Brentford at home. They weren't pressuring us. If they were, fine, make the change. But we done this. It's our fault. You can talk about poor defending, whatever you like. But it's frustrating giving away leads like this. We should have won this game. If we want to achieve something special this season, you have to beat Brentford at home, especially in a manner that we're 1-0 up. We're 1-0 up. And we made them change the final 15 minutes. Yes, players get fatigued, but you don't have to change the whole formation. You don't have to, because there was no need. Tell me what was the need? What was Brentford doing before them changes that we had to say, all right, let's make changes? We were in control. Mark Gay and Joachim Andersen, they had Tony in his pocket. Tony was getting frustrated all game long. That's why he was pushing Joachim and pushing Mark. Because we were solid. Believe in your source. This game felt like Arsenal last season away from home. But that's Arsenal. This is Brentford we're talking about. They're a team on our level. Why did we go so negative? I don't understand it. I don't. We have to be winning these games.
Yep. I think that's the frustrating piece is the fact that, you go into matches like the Man City match where we come out and we play and we get better results than we expected at first, at least. Or you go and you get the tie against Liverpool, which nobody really probably were expecting from us. But it's these matches are the ones that make the difference for us, the ones that we should be winning, the ones that make a difference for us as far as climbing up the ladder. You know what I mean? Like, it did feel like a loss.
Man City, we lost. We bottled the lead against Man City. I was here with Patrick. We were discussing it. Oh, we could have done better. But I was more disappointed because we didn't have any expectation to beat Man City. But when it's games like this against Brentford and you're 1-0 up at home and you go 5 at the back and you have your goalkeeper who doesn't understand the concept of time wasting and the players don't understand it and they keep hoofing up like we're Man City and like we're trying to score the second goal. Time waste. Just there's so many things in that game where we just don't know how to control a game. That's Vieira's fault as well. And it's the players' fault as well. Time waste. Why on earth are you why are we rushing to play? Like, we're 1-0 up. There's so many teams who know how to control a game. You understand that sometimes you have to be that nasty team. You have to frustrate your opponent. We didn't frustrate them. We invited them onto us. We said, go ahead, Brentford. Come onto us. Why? We're at home. If we're away from home, then maybe. But still, it's Brentford. It's Brentford, It's Brentford, Patrick. We have to be winning these games. Because if it's a similar result at home to last season as well, when we drew against them. But this game, we should have won it.
I get all that, right? But a couple of things that, again, I know your emotional game. You talk about why we 5 at the back. Prior to that, when we scored the goal, you know what Brentford did? They made 3 subs after. Now let me finish. They made 3 subs. We need to give the other teams credit for things instead of blaming the player, blaming the manager. They made the subs. Then at 75 minutes, we made the sub to bring on Luca and the other and Ayew, okay, and Mitchell. Sorry, okay. Yes, 5 at the back. It worked against with what Richards when it worked. As Wilf said post match, we dropped off way before we went 5 at the back. We dropped off right at his goal. That's on the players. That's not on the manager system. We had the same 4-3-3 for about 71 minutes and did nothing with it. Nothing. That's on the players. That's not on the manager. But
the reason why I don't agree, Patrick, is when they made them changes, we were still not comfortable. We were not comfortable until we made our changes. That's why we cost the game. If Brentford made them changes and they were, for example, pressuring down our right and overloading us on the right or the left or the middle, then I'll say, fine, make them changes. Brentford were pressuring us, but they wasn't. Them subs didn't work for Brentford until we changed it ourselves. It wasn't Brentford subs that changed the game. It was our subs.
I agree. Brentford made the changes. Brentford made the changes, and nothing changed for them.
Yeah, nothing changed.
The game didn't change when they made those substitutions. We changed it.
But what I don't understand is, like, why did we change it? What's the explanation to go 5 at the back? That's why I hate this stuff.
I'll say it again.
I like the formation against top
sides. There's 16 minutes between the goal that we scored and the 74th minute we made the sub for Schlupp and Eze for Ayew and Luka. What do you mean nothing changed? Between the 60 minutes, they were still pressure. Yes, they were. After getting the goal, Will said it. Patrick, so yes, they were. Will said it. He's right. Will didn't say Wilf is not going to come out when we scored the goal.
Patrick, Wilf is not going to come out after the game and say it was our fault or it's the manager's fault. Wilf is not going to say that. Wilf is, of course, going to look at the players saying, all right, we cost it. But realistically, when we're looking at the game as fans and we can talk about the game without having no biases, that's what we're here to do. We can admit it. It was Vieira's fault. Why did we go 5 at the back? Why do we change Brentford? We're not pressuring us. It's not like, oh, Vieira out, it's bad. But it's his fault. He can make mistakes. This was a fucking awful one to make.
It's his fault that Gay Anderson and Ward can't defend across. That's his fault.
Okay, hold up. Okay, so before them changes, what happened with Gay Anderson?
You keep going with the changes, but I'm telling you that it happened before the changes. You can blame the 5 at the back, but it happened before then. So your point is invalid. That might have made it worse. That might have made it worse, but it didn't. But it happened before. They were pressured after when they made those first subs, they thought they changed the whole system around and they were pressuring us. I don't care what you say.
They weren't pressuring us, though.
Watch the game again.
We let go of the game. We said, all right.
Listen,
by the way, if Brentford weren't even pressuring us, all right, cool, fair enough.
Right.
This is still Brentford. Why not if we're taking off Elise, Eze, and you're just sticking with Zaha? Why go so defensive against Brentford at home? Like, why? You can still go 5 at the back without taking off Elise and Eze. Once they scored that goal, they could have scored a second.
So who do you take off then? Your point is just take off Ward and bring on Mitchell?
We didn't. First of all, I'm
just asking you, what should your subs be?
What we would have done, I would have kept it as it is. If you want to make changes due to fatigue or whatever reason it is, change 1 or 2 plays. Don't change the whole flipping system that's been working defensively. Attacking wise, we weren't great. We didn't create that many chances. But the thing is, we have Wilfried Zaha, the player that's linked with all these top clubs, the player that separates between Palace and Brentford because he has that one moment of magic. He done his magic, and we managed to get the lead. But then afterwards, we didn't need to score another goal.
Can I ask you a question?
But we still had to have the attackers on the pitch.
I miss something? Besides Zaha, Edouard did nothing. At least it did barely nothing. Eddie did nothing. So besides the Corey and Wilf, no one did not. Mateta did nothing. I'll feel admit that. I'm a Mateta fan.
When you have that threat of Elise and Eze on the pitch, when you have
the threat of Zaha on the pitch.
Patrick, you saw it. Okay, Patrick, we did nothing, but we started control over the game. Whereas when we went 5 at the back and then they scored the goal, we didn't have no attackers. We looked clueless, Patrick.
Control is I don't know if I like that word control. We were winning. I don't think we were controlling that game.
No,
we were in control. We didn't allow them. We weren't controlling that game. We were controlling their shots on goal. We weren't controlling that game. We weren't.
We were controlling that game until the subs. We didn't allow them to come and attack us. We didn't allow them.
There was zero threat. I say we controlled it because there was zero threat from Brentford until
we lost all the rhythm. And Patrick, look, I was at the game, yeah. And what I noticed straight away when we made them changes, when Luka came on the pitch, you know what happened? I was looking at Will. You know what happened? He went up to Luka and he's like, what's going on? What's happening? Where am I? What's going on?
Right.
We lost rhythm. Why?
I've admitted it happened. You want to stick to that one point. Continue throughout this show. I'm telling you right now, it happened before then. I'm telling you right now, you want to blame that on Luke. It was before then. That did make it worse. It happened before.
Okay, tell me, what chances did I have before then? Because we could have lost that game, and I could give you the chances exactly how we could have lost that game. So what chances did Brentford have before them subs for you to say it was before then?
Because the question, you're down 1-0 away. You're not going to create more chances if you want to get.
We're at home. We're at home.
No, Brentford. They're going to say, okay, Paz had the 3 points. Of course, they're going to create more chances. They want to get back in the game. That's part of football.
But we have to be
Everybody
solid.
does that. The worst in the league want to get back in the game.
Okay, of course they're going to create more chances, but they weren't creating more chances when we had 4 at the back. When we had them plays on the pitch. It's until we changed it up, that's when they're creating more chances.
And I'll say again,
we lost the rhythm.
Go back and watch the game. After we scored, they made those subs. They had more opportunities. You have shots on goal. They didn't have any. We all know that second shot on goal was the goal, but they had opportunities. They had the ball more. They were pressuring us on the left side and the right side. They were. The midfield was thing. Yes, the subs didn't make it any better, which is not the point of it. But the point was, it was worse way before those subs. To blame the subs,
I'm looking forward to rewatching. I'm looking forward to rewatching the game because I don't agree with that. I don't think they did anything. Worse. They made those substitutions and nothing changed. The game didn't change until we made our subs and invited that pressure. But I fair enough. I will go back and watch that match from the time that we'll score that goal between then and when we decided to go 5 at the back, because I don't feel like anything changed. Because I remember watching, and it was almost close to the 80th minute. I was like, wow, we look like we might get this one. And then things changed drastically.
Yeah, it changed.
But I want to bring, I do want to bring on AJ here real quick, so let him have his say real quick.
AJ, yo, guys, what's going on, man? Right, before I rip into what the manager did or didn't do, what you got to consider with the game today, right, was essentially defensively, Brentford were pretty solid, to be fair. We didn't look like scoring at one point until we had one Wilfried Zaha moment of magic, essentially. However, Brentford weren't anywhere near scoring, to be fair. But essentially what happened was, when the substitutions were made, we took off all the creativity off the pitch, and then all the players that came on looked confused. They looked like they didn't know what they were essentially doing, which led to them being able to score that goal from the cross. That's all I can really put on it. And I'm not going to go mad and be like, oh, it's Vieira's fault. But essentially, it kind of falls down to the manager's decisions. Because at the end of the day, the manager made the decision to take off all the creativity off the pitch and go into a defensive method of playing. But it's not to say they came off and they were defensive and they were organised. When those players came on the pitch, i.e. Luka and Ayew and all the rest of it, they didn't look like they knew what they were doing. They looked lost, which led to that goal. It is a concept of us looking lost, and we didn't look like we knew what we were doing. And then as soon as that goal went in, you could kind of just look on the pitch, and with all the creativity options taken off the pitch, we didn't look like we were going to score and get back into the game. If anything, when that goal looked like it was going to be ruled out for VAR, that would have been a saving grace and a blessing from God himself, because taking off all that creativity off the pitch today led to us inviting the pressure into the team, which essentially led to Brentford scoring the equaliser. There's no beating around the bush around that. That's fact. That's what happened. I saw it with my own two eyes. Players came on the pitch, they looked baffled. They didn't look like they know what they were doing today.
I want to ask you a question as well. Before them subs happen, was there a reason for them changes taking off the creativity? Because what frustrates me the most is not taking off the creativity in itself is negative, but it's the fact that they weren't even pressuring us. There was no need to go 5 by the back and take off the creativity because they weren't creating many chances. That's what frustrates me more than anything. There was no need for them changes and changing the formation. That's what upsets me the most. That's why I feel like we gave away the game. Maybe you see it differently, but was there any need to make them changes to take off Eze and Elise? Did you feel any point threatened by Brentford changes? I didn't. I didn't see anything on the pitch.
Out of the two, the only player I would have took off was Eze. No, sorry, not Eze, because Eze was playing out as usual. It was Elise that I would have taken off. And the only reason why I say that is Elise did look rusty. Yeah. He looked rusty today.
He did.
He had a few moments of creativity, and about 5 minutes before coming off, he hit the post. So Elise was still kind of a threat, but if I had to take any of those creative players off, the only one I really would have taken off is Elise. There was no need to take Eze off the field. Schlupp, I'm sorry, was trash today, so I would have taken him off all day anyway. It's got to be said, Edouard was pissed poor today. However, Mateta didn't do anything either. So, but out of the two of them, and when we were sort of hitting the ball up front, the thing is, right, with our two strikers, they're different. Edouard seems to have to play on the floor. He cannot do anything in the air. He's just non-existent in the air. Whereas Mateta is a constant aerial threat. And that gave me, I can't remember who the other centre-back was for them, something to worry about. And when we had those creative players, we were pushing back. Sorry, when we had the attacking players, that led to Rico Henry, Hickey, and whoever it was that were playing at right back having to push back. As soon as we took those players off, they were like, yeah, goal time. Rico Henry was playing left wing for them at one point. They were pushing up and they were applying the pressure. It enabled them to apply the pressure and start playing. At one point, their centre-backs were playing centre midfield because we were just sitting there waiting for it. The ball was going in the air. Edouard was never going to win a 50-50 in the air. It just was never going to happen. And Wilf that's not Wilf's game. So essentially, we have to be honest with ourselves here, bro. I love Patriarca with everything, bro, but he got it wrong with the decisions. He did. We essentially took off all those creative players. We put on these defensive players, and they just didn't know what to do, and they looked lost, and that's ultimately led to the goal. Plain and simple.
AJ, you keep saying all those. The only person that you giving credit to is Olise. You said Eze didn't play. You said, oh sorry, Eze. Which one did you say play well? Eze or Olise? Olise played well because you hit the post.
I mean, Olise was all right, but I'll be honest enough to myself to say he looks rusty at some points of the game.
Right. But my point, you said took off creative players, but he took off Olise and Eze. Both didn't play well. Only one of them did. He took off Mateta, which we all agreed didn't play well, and he took off Schlupp. Schlupp didn't have a good game. So you said all the creative players. It was basically one player.
Two. It was two. It was
well, technically two. Technically three. If you want to be that political about it.
Eze and Olise for all the way that they played, not up to the expectation that we expect. They still were playing better than anybody else that came on after them. They were still making more of a difference going forward than anybody that came on after them.
Exactly. Because Patrick, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying Olise was rubbish. I'm just saying he was rusty. I'm not saying he wasn't a threat because he was. What I'm saying is, when we were counter-attacking them towards the end of the second half and before they scored their goal, we were giving them something to panic and worry about. Essentially, when we were running at them and the ball was going over to Wilf on the left or Olise on the right, what you seem to forget is before those players came off, we were overlapping on the wings, when we were attacking them. And they had something to worry about.
Not on Ward's side. Ward did not overlap. You're right about Klein, but not Ward. That was one of the
But remember, on the left-hand side. But then on the left-hand side of that, remember, it's Eze. Essentially, it's Eze and Zaha creating
going over. Exactly right. The overload. Exactly right.
So you see what I'm saying? So I back Vieira with everything, man. But I'm going to be honest, bro. He got it wrong today, man. He did. And those decisions essentially cost us the points.
You're right.
And at the end of the day, I'm talking about them like come Saturday, like that doesn't change. But at the end of the day, he has to hold the L there, man. And at the end of the day, the players that came on, didn't do their jobs. They didn't.
He can hold the L, but so should the players. I got no problem. He wants to talk about I should hold the L, blah blah blah. That's fine, Mark.
Yeah, whole team does. Whole team.
Yeah, the whole team does. Because like I said, on that cross, everyone's ball watching.
Yep, because
that's
if
Wisa had a free header,
it
can't be free with five at the back. It can't be free. It can't be back free. So like I said,
and in fact, Vieira, when the goal went in, Vieira was he was fuming.
Bro, he was.
I wonder why.
When the goal went in, he literally stepped onto the pitch and he started screaming like he went onto the pitch. He left his thing and he started screaming at. I don't know who he was screaming at, but he was screaming at them. But look, now that I let it out, I got a few other things that I want to say as well in terms of, look, Vieira can make mistakes. He can. But what makes it more frustrating is that he has made these mistakes before. And I thought that he learned from them. Arsenal away last season, I remember bringing on Tompkins when we were comfortable and allowing Arsenal to invite us pressure. Fair enough, that's Arsenal away. But even that was annoying. He's had a few of these games where he went negative and it didn't work out. And the best form of defense is just attack. Put them under pressure.
Not always. Come on, that's not fair. That's not always true.
But against Brentford at home, if you're playing against Man City, then fair enough. Or Liverpool, or maybe even Arsenal, you can debate that. But even the Arsenal game last season was frustrating. But if you're playing against Brentford at home, Patrick, you can't just go five at the back and be so negative after things were going solid for you defensively. You might change the attack because the attack wasn't so great, but you don't change the back four to a back five because you didn't need to change that. The attack wasn't great all game. As I said, it was Wilf's magic that created it.
If the attack would have been better, if the attack would have been better, we never done it. We never had it.
I expected more from Olise. I expected more from Eze. And Wilf, I expected more. Well, Wilf's got a goal, but I expected them to create more chances. Okay, we didn't, but Wilf done his thing. But still, we could have changed that to create more chances because we know that Brentford's going to attack us. Bring on Ibiwe.
I agree, but again, I'm gonna keep saying it. You've got to give the other team some credit, otherwise you're not being fair. It's not a one-sided argument. Brentford made changes to change the game. We didn't adjust properly. I agree with that. But it's not they went to the same 11 and played the same way. It's not fair. Wisa was on the pitch at the beginning of the game. He was a sub that scored the goal. So give them some credit. Brentford done
their thing.
Wrong, but they have to get some credit.
Brentford done their thing after we bottled it. After we done it. That's why I'm not giving I'm not sounding salty. Like Brentford, all right, you got a point, whatever.
Right.
But I feel like we bottled it. That's
I
why
would
I'm
say,
not giving
I would say
Brentford the
credit.
credit that
I
they
would
deserve
say,
because
I
I
would
don't
say
think
credit
they
where
deserve credit.
credit is.
I'm looking at us. That's
I would say
our
credit
fault.
Okay,
credit
that's
where
fair,
credit
and
is
that's fair.
due to Brentford for taking advantage of us, giving them the opportunity to come forward and get opportunities. That is what I would say. They took advantage of the fact that we invited the pressure and they got their chances, because they could have ended up winning that game if Rico Henry could have finished that shot that he had point blank. You know what I mean?
Upset, wouldn't we?
Very, very upset. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So credit to Brentford for taking what we put out there for them to come and get. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's it. It's not like they done anything like they done. It was us. It was us.
But I still
Although
believe,
I got another
if we
point.
played the same way the entire game, if we kept our same philosophy that we had from the very beginning,
We're
with
winning
the
that game.
formation and tactics, we win that match. That's just what I believe.
We win that game because they didn't create any chances until we went 5 at the back. They didn't create anything dangerous. And in fact, 5 at the back right now, we could be potentially talking about defeat, because don't forget they hit the post or the bar, wherever it was. Don't forget that.
Yep.
Not only we got lucky with the point at the end of it, because they hit the bar on the post. Well, when we went 5 at the back, I don't remember us attacking at all, because we struggled with 4. We struggled with Elise Eze and Will.
But hold on, right?
You
I've
decided
got
to
a
go
point.
even more negative.
I've just got a point that I'm thinking about. Right? I was just looking at the team today. Is it a scenario where we just don't have enough depth on the bench?
We don't.
Because if
100%.
in terms of the bench, right, today, when I looked at it, I thought to myself, who on that bench is coming on to change the game?
Exactly.
Like, if it's not going our way and the creativity is not going our way, I'm looking at our bench and I'm thinking, well, Phillips is on there, which I was actually pretty chilled to see. Awuge is not ready yet anyway. We had a couple other youngsters on there. Luca.
They do have a chance at some point, man.
Rodney, Phillips.
And also, look, there's you guys are talking about a bench. Well, let's not act like before today's game. Well, I don't know about you lot, but I remember Patrick, you was agreeing with me as well, and Tia to a certain extent. That Luca coming off the bench, he's been solid for us this season. He hasn't.
I'm not blaming Luca. No, wait, 1 second. I'm not blaming Luca for this lot.
No, I know. But I'm just saying that AJ's saying we didn't have quality off the bench. I don't think it's anything to do with, in particular, Luca coming on. It's just a situation we're putting Luca. We had 5 at the back. We had 2 midfield.
You put him in a 2-man midfield. That was
Are you
the
telling
issue.
me Luca can do it in a 2-man midfield?
Right, exactly.
No, whenever he has someone, he hasn't been in a 2-man midfield. So it's not.
Yeah, but true. The point I'm going with that one,
great, but
go ahead.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. The only point I'm going with that one is if you take off, let's say a Will for an Elise or whoever,
what
is the go-to
coming on? Right, similar quality coming on.
You see what I'm saying? Like, what's the go-to after that?
That's fair.
Yeah. Attack wise. Look, Jordan Ayew, we all laugh at him, but he in a game like this,
defensively.
No, when we're 1-0 up, you want to bring on Jordan Ayew because you know how many fouls he wins.
Of course you do.
And you know that he's strong on the ball. So we didn't need to bring another Wilf or Elise or whatever in this game. We just need to bring on an attacker who's solid. Jordan Ayew would have done the job.
I think a big part is balance. We weren't balanced with.
He just changed the balance. We were balanced until we changed it. Until we threw away the balance. That's a big key word today that we're talking about. It was us. We done that. Putting Luca in the midfield too. Decore was fantastic today. Look, the positive there. Decore was fantastic.
Brilliant.
Man of the match.
9 out of 10.
Beyond
But
absolute beast.
Putting Luca in the midfield too. Just forget about who's next to him. Like, jeez. Well, dude, this guy, he does that. He does have the legs for midfield too. And then Tyreek, I don't know what's up with Tyreek, if he's fit or not. But like, we brought him on in the last minute. I was like, I don't look. It was going so well. And you know what's frustrating? Look, we can say we're 3 points off whatever. I don't know. Let's check now. We got 5 points. We're 3 points off top 5.
Right.
But my point is, when it comes to the end of the season, and we're talking about 3 or 6 points. Oh, if you had that 3 or 6 points, that's when it adds up. It doesn't add up.
That's when these games matter, man. That's when these games matter.
That's why we need to win these games if we want to do something special.
Agree. So to all 3 of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be honest, though. You have to be honest.
Uh-huh.
When you looked at the fixtures, you saw Villa, City, Brentford. How many points did you think we would get? T first, honestly, before this all.
So these first 5 games.
Right. What do you think about July when you saw? What do you think? How many points do you think we can get out of those 5? Honestly,
7. 7.
Okay, 7. All right, fair enough. D.
I expected. Let me just calculate it right now.
Nah, it's okay.
0,
AJ, what do you think?
Probably 7 as well, to be honest.
6.
Okay. I honestly thought 5 or 6 at most.
Nah.
Home games.
I think 7 is fair.
And
7 is fair. 7 is fair.
I
But
was,
Patrick,
I was
Patrick,
7 on the low and 9 on the high
But
end.
Patrick, see, I get what you're saying, but we need to get over that mentality as well. Because if you want Wilf to stay at the club, we can't just be like, oh, it's Villa, Brent. Like, we need to ideally look to finish.
See, I want to win every match, so I don't know what you mean. What do you mean what mentality?
To finish in the top 8 or top 7, 7 points is 7 points is probably the minimum. Like, we should have had 7 points
from that start. But like I said, I was 1 or 2 points off. What are you talking about? Yeah, like I said, no points. My point is that you gotta
2
have
points
some
off, but then it adds up. Because in the next 5 games, if we drop 1 or 2 points as well, that's 4 points dropped that we should have had. And in the next 5 games, if we drop another 3, 4, that's gonna turn from 4 to 8. There's gonna go 10. There's gonna go 12. There's gonna go 14.
You're trying to turn around the mentality of a club that had the mentality for 30, 40 years in a year. That's not fair to the manager.
Patrick, I understand that, but last season we were very unlucky, and I thought we learned from our mistakes from dropping off points. Last season we dropped off a lot of points, and that's why we had a positive goal difference, and we were the odd team out sitting on the table because we were silly in our mistakes that we've done.
Right.
So yes, you're telling me it can take a while for it to change, but Patrick Vieira managed to change that. We looked like a solid team last season, and we came out from games talking about we should have won them and not drew against them. But this season, what had to change is them games that we drew and we didn't finish the games off. We finished them off this season and we push up the table. But a game like Brentford, that game was too similar to me. Too similar to a game like Brighton or something at home last season, where we dropped points. And then when it comes to the end of the season, when we finish 12th, and when we say, oh, damn, we're like 6 or 7 points off 7, oh, we're not going to be able to make it now.
Can we get past 5 games before you think about that? Can we get past the first 5 games of the season before you start thinking
about it? I take it game by game. I take it game by game, but you're looking at the table. This season is very competitive. Brentford at home is a game that we should be winning, especially the way it panned out.
I'm not arguing with you on that.
Yeah, especially the way
we shouldn't have got a point against. We shouldn't have got a point off for Liverpool. We had no right to get a point of Liverpool, so we should be on 6 points. We should be 1 point behind. We shouldn't have got a point of Liverpool. There's no way.
Nah, Patrick, I'm not having that one. Sorry.
But Patrick, look, you're saying we shouldn't have got a point off Liverpool. All right, cool. In theory, yes. But Patrick, we need to be getting these points somewhere for us to do something special. Now that we got a point off Liverpool, you go and beat Brentford, then you say, wow, look at us now. We're on 7 points. That's good. Right. We're only 3 points. We're only 3 points off a certain team above us. But then when you look at games like, oh, we shouldn't have got a point there, we got lucky. Well, look, we got a point against Liverpool and we bottled against Brentford. But that's the thing. If you don't bottle against Brentford and you get a point against Liverpool,
but I'm looking at it more than 5 matches. Patrick, I need to get 10 matches, 15 matches. Then I can go back and I'm not going to get
Patrick, I'm looking at game by game basis. But if you go and beat Brentford, that's when you look up the table and you're saying, all right, we've had a good start.
Everyone said we had a tough start, so I don't know where you're coming from. Everyone said it was a tough start.
Nah, it's a tough start. No one said it's a tough start.
Patrick, hear me out, right? I think I'm just going to have to back D's point on this one. There were games last year, right, where, and even I openly admit, I said, listen, my manager, I'll back him. I'll support him. But the following season, we need to get from.
I agree.
When we threw it away against Arsenal and Lacazette smashed it in the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, I remember. Brighton, both Brighton matches.
How have we not shown any progression in terms of picking up those extra points now? You're right in terms of 5, 10, 15 games, but AJ, Brentford is a fixture on paper that we should have been able to just bang, get the 1-0, take that.
Fair, because Villa lost your home. We lost. We won this year. Liverpool away lost a point, so better. So that's not fair.
All right. So in playing devil's advocate a little bit, at what point do we learn from those mistakes? Or what point do we learn from conceding those last-minute goals?
Halfway through the season, honestly, through the season.
No, but that's too late, Patrick.
That's not progressing, though, bro. It's not progressing.
I just showed you game we progressed in. No, that's not fair. We progressed. We lost a bit of last year. We beat them this year.
We should have progressed in this game as well. We should have progressed in this game. We should have progressed in this game as well.
We didn't regress. We got a point last year. We got a point this year. We didn't regress.
Believe in this team. Please believe in this team. I get we talk about squad depth, but with the players that we had there on the pitch, Zaha, Elise, even Mateta, and you're talking about Eze, Joachim Madison, Mark Gahey. Please believe in this team, Patrick. We don't need to go halfway through the season for us to say
I believe, but I don't. I believe, but I have to keep perspective, man. I don't believe in just going off half-cocked about stuff when I don't believe that. We are still 3 or 4 players short. I don't care what you guys say. We're still short players. Let him get the squad that he wants to get in, and then see what goes from there. I'm not judging on the first 5 games. Everybody said it's going to be tough. Everyone said it before the season started. Oh my God, Arsenal. Oh my God, City. Oh my God, Liverpool. Everybody said it. All of a sudden now, I'm supposed to just get out there. That wasn't tough. We should have won today. Yeah, we should have won today. I agree with you. We should have won today. But I'm not going to lose it on the first 5 games because, like I said, I got to see more of Vieira's team, meaning we are short players. We need another midfielder, a left back, and probably a right back. We need more players. You got to Phillips. Can't be on the bench. Love Rodney. Should be on the bench.
Okay, I get more players, but today it wasn't a case of more players for me. I think it was a case of.
I've already said, D, we should have won today. Bro, don't have to kill me. I agree with you and AJ. We should have won today. But I'm not going to go crazy with one match. I never do.
That's just my point.
I can't do that. I get what you're saying, though. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying I'm not going crazy over one game. That's not who I am. I've been a Paris forward since I was 5. I'm 57. I'm 58, more than all you guys combined on this. I'm saying I've seen everything. I've seen Paris go from the 1st division to the 4th division in 3 straight years. I've seen it all, D. So I get it. I'm not going to go crazy, bro. I'm just not. I get what he's saying. I want to see progression. I get it. But I also know who I support. I don't support Chelsea with a big billionaire owner. I don't support Tottenham with a big owner.
Yeah, but that doesn't make a reasonable excuse for dropping a point against Brentford like we did. It's not about supporting Chelsea or Man United or one of them teams.
Bro, it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
It's going to take time, but we have to learn from our mistakes. This is not Patrick. This was the first time. Last season, we was here. We was talking about mistakes like this. How long is it going to take? It's not a hard thing to do. Last 15 minutes of the game is just game management. If this was the first season like it was last season, was we talking like this? No, because this season, I have higher expectations than last season because I know where the shortfalls of this team are and I know the strengths of this team. And I thought we learned mistakes from last season. There were so many games last season where it was like this. Why did we go so negative? That's what I'm saying. You're talking about halfway through the season. Fine. If it was the first season, okay. But we've already gone through this. So why do we need another 15 games to learn from it?
D again. Against Villa, did it work?
Against Villa, Villa was in the same situation. I don't remember us going like 5 at the back with 15 minutes against Villa. I don't remember anything like that.
Watch it again. We brought Richard on. But again, my point is that we
when
saw
did Richard come on against Villa? I can check that right now.
Again, we saw out the game. Again, we're not going to see out every game. I get your frustration, guy. I really do. But what I'm not going to do is going to go crazy. But I respect both you and AJ's frustration. I get it. But that's what I'm going to say to you. So, like I said, sometimes it just doesn't work, man. You got to give the other team credit, the other manager credit. It doesn't work all the time.
Yeah. Okay, look, Patrick, you're talking about Villa. You know when Chris Richards came on? 90th minute. That's when you could go maybe 5 at the back.
So we should have waited to 90th minute. It would have been down. We would still be 1-1 for 88th minute.
Patrick, if you watch that back again and you can see before the subs, they didn't cause us trouble. If you're making a sub like that 5 at the back, if you want to keep it tight, you don't do 15 minutes because you already know that Brentford, like you got rhythm of the game and Brentford might go for it. But like we literally invited them onwards. We said to Brentford, come. We shouldn't have done that. We should have made it as hard as possible and that's keeping it as it is.
What
maybe
was
5 minutes or whatever, that's fair enough, but not 15 minutes, not 15, 20 minutes where you just give up the game and start holding it back. If it's against Man City, Patrick, if it's against Man City or against Liverpool and we're at home and that's the case, fair enough. But with all due respect, it's Brentford. You don't give up the last 15, 20 minutes of the game. It's the last 5 minutes or so.
Make sure you tell Billy to be
we weren't struggling.
that same comment. Make sure you tell Billy to be from Brentford, from beside Brentford, that comment about is only Brentford. But again, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So again, Vieira messed up. But like I said, to go crazy over this one match, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not.
You know why I'm going crazy? It's not just over the one game. You know why I'm going crazy? Because I know at the end of the season... No. You know, Patrick, you know what it is? At the end of the season, we're not looking at the bigger picture. At the end of the season, when you're looking at games like this, it is going to add up.
You know what?
It is going to
let's get there first, bro. Let's get there first. You can't see the future. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, but Patrick is always going to add up. Why would it not be? Why would it not want extra 2 points? Let's say we're 10th.
Is that what I said? I said let's see what happens.
But it happened last season. You don't know. It happened last season.
Patrick,
it happened last season. No, I do know because it happened last season.
United or Arsenal away. You don't know what's going to happen.
No, but Patrick, it happened last season. That's why I'm frustrated now. Because last season
we also stole points last year off of Man City.
But it was more points dropped than stolen points. That was the situation. We dropped a lot of points rather than stealing points. And it was a positive anyways because we weren't playing bad.
We certainly did.
It was a positive.
But you would admit that
bad.
wasn't the reason why. The reason we did poor last year because of the FA Cup run. It wasn't because of points. It was more the FA Cup run. Didn't you always say that about the season last year? We lost our focus.
FA Cup was towards the end of the season. Okay. FA Cup towards the end of the season. But at the start of the season, there was two main things. One, we couldn't game manage. And two, it was set pieces. We improved on the set pieces, and we improved on the game management to a certain extent as well.
Right.
So whilst we improve, why go back to that? We know what worked and what didn't work last season.
But it's one match.
Negativity never worked. It didn't work for us last season.
It's one match.
Okay, but there's signs of it. Why did we go back to it? It's one match, but why did we go back to it?
Because he thought it was going to work. You think he did it on purpose so we could lose it, so we wouldn't get the he thought it was going to work.
I think the thing that we have to I think the thing that we have to keep in perspective here is this is only the 5th match.
My favorite word
of the season. And it's a point where we can make an adjustment and hopefully see a change going forward. Because at this point, we've only dropped, or as we could say, only dropped a certain amount of points right now. So if you can make the adjustment to mitigate this issue happening in the future, so be it. And I think part of this too, like it's about the players taking accountability. It's about the manager taking accountability. But a big part of it is about them coming together and talking about it and communicating about it. Because I'm sure, and I would hope that there's going to be feedback between the two parties to get an understanding of why we do this, why do we do this, how can we change this, how can we make this not happen going forward. Just like all the times when we've given up, set piece goals and hopefully we come back, we work on it in the training and we defend them better in the coming matches.
I agree.
Frustrating, but look, I let out my thing. I needed to let out. It's annoying because I have expectations for this team. I said at the start of the season. I said it to you, Patrick, as well. I've said it to you, T, as well. For example, I have expectation this season. I want us to progress because
absolutely.
I don't think we're living. Because I think we've got potential in this team. I understand we need to improve in certain positions. I understand that our squad depth, we haven't got a complete squad. But with the squad that we got right now, and based on things that happened last season, I know that this team didn't achieve what they should have achieved. We bottled a lot of last-minute games, certain set pieces cost us. But this season, going into the season, I thought that we learned from that. And I understand it's one game, Patrick, but why did we go back to that?
Have we got better at set pieces,
Why did we go back to that?
Are we better on set pieces?
Yeah, we're better at set pieces, but it's good to be better at set pieces. But you have to be better on both sides. I think game management, game management is still no excuse. Like we should be better at game management, and we have been better towards the second half of last season until again today. Like we just brought back something that I thought that we got rid of. I thought that was a hiccups at the start of last season. It's the start of second season, and it's the similar hiccups.
So let me ask you all this question. So we know we got Man United at the weekend, and I think
Newcastle.
Newcastle. My bad.
You really want us to play Man United?
No, CJ messed me up earlier.
I know. Plant that seed in your head. Yeah.
So we got Newcastle at the weekend, which is a preview of what we got in the Carabao too. But one of the things that kind of came up was what we saw today from Elise getting the start and playing some significant minutes. Do you start Elise at the weekend or do you start Ayew at the weekend?
I do. I start Elise.
What about you,
You have to start Elise. You have to go positive. Look, again, Newcastle is a solid team. And I said this as well to Billy when I was doing opposition preview. Look, Brentford are a solid team, but as Crystal Palace, if you want to be separated from these solid teams, if you want to do something better than them, then you have to beat them. And I feel like Brentford, we're not clear of Brentford. Brentford are still very good team, and we saw tactically
one position ahead last year. One position ahead
exactly, and we
year,
saw it tactically last season and this season how tight it was, and I expected a tight fair game. I thought we would win 1-0, which we should have won until we bottled it. But if you want to go above Brentford, if you want to go into that top 10 and talk about top 7, for example, you have to be beating these teams. That's what separates you.
That's what separates you. Yep.
Again, against Newcastle.
You got to win those matches.
All right, so good news. It's good news for Saturday. St. Maximum's out, Callum Wilson's out, and Isak's gonna be out. So whatever that means.
So I didn't hear from you, AJ. Who would you play, IU or Elise in that starting right wing role?
I'll be thinking about it. I love that.
Against Newcastle.
Mind you, Newcastle's starting left back is Dan Burn.
After seeing Elise today, I still think he still needs to build up. Actually, no, I'd still start Elise and then maybe give him an hour and see how he gets on, and then bring on IU if he's not penetrating the game, kind of like today to an extent. But then it was really weird with Elise today because it's like he didn't really get going properly till the second half.
But you got to understand too, he had a shot off the post, he had a shot on goal, and he had 2 other opportunities that didn't go. Like he was in the game. He had some great passes. Yeah. He had a great look to Wilf in the box where Wilf couldn't get that shot off on the turn. He had the pass to Mateta where he just fell over in the box. Unfortunately, he played well, man. It's just he's rusty is the right word, I think.
But it's quite interesting. He played him for at number 10 for only not for very long, like 30 seconds
as they came off.
Yeah, he put him on as a number 10 for 5 minutes or something like that, which was kind of interesting to see, but he didn't really get much time to do anything. So I don't know, might be another option for him. You don't know.
I start Elise. I don't know about you, Patrick, but I start Elise, and the reason for starting Elise, you saw it today. Elise rustiness still is a more dangerous threat than Jordan Ayew going forward. Right. So, and for me, for him to get out of that rustiness, he needs to be playing games. And if this is Elise being rusty today, hitting a post,
that's what I'm saying, man.
He's
still creating.
If that's the case, then fine. Look, in games like this, Elise coming off and Jordan Ayew coming on in the same position rather than going to a back 5, I think that would have still worked because you want Jordan Ayew to come on as he's solid, better defensively, and he is smart.
Sub type role.
Jordan Ayew is a very smart player in terms of winning fouls. So when you're winning 1-0, you would want Jordan Ayew to come on. But if you're going against Newcastle, once again, I don't know about you guys, maybe my expectations are high, but it's another game where it's a real rival. If you want to finish above Newcastle,
and I don't fear Newcastle. They got all this money.
You have to give them respect.
I respect. Respecting is one thing, but fearing them is a whole nother thing. I know they got all this money. I know they got all this money, but their squad is good. It's decent.
But there are rivals. In terms of Newcastle. I've spoken to Newcastle fans who are going to have an opposition preview as well later in a week, and their objective is they're looking at the top 10. They're looking at top 7. Now, realistically, it depends on you guys' expectation, but that's what I'm looking at as well with this squad. Yeah. Yes, we're not the finished product, but if you want to go and finish in their positions, you can't have 2 teams finishing 7th or 2 teams finishing 8th. So you're going to have to finish above them. And these are games like Brentford, the games like Newcastle, it matters. Yeah. That's why for me, I start with Elise. I bring the game to them rather than going with Ayew, which I feel is negative. Today, negativity cost us. Hopefully, we don't go with negativity. Look, it might not work out, but I would rather attack rather than defense. I want to see Elise back on the pitch because Elise gives them something to think about. Jordan Ayew, he can be good, but he's no Elise. When you have Elise on the pitch, you have that fear factor because his skill work and his ability on the ball is like, all right, I'm going to make the overlap because Elise on the counter-attack and his end product is better than Jordan Ayew, for me anyways. Right. It gives something else to think about. You have Elise, you have Eze, and you have Wilf on the pitch. Go at it.
What happened to Hughes today?
No idea.
I don't know. Is there another one that's going?
So as far as Newcastle, I totally agree with you guys. I would definitely start Elise. He needs to get back into rhythm. You saw some things towards the second half. You see him getting into it. They kept double and triple teaming him today, by the way, which is interesting to see that. That's no longer Wolves doing. That's now Elise. He had at least 2, sometimes 3. As far as Newcastle, they play 3 at the back. So I'm telling you, don't be surprised if he matches up with them because they play with Dan Burn as a left centre half, and actually,
It's Fabian Sher,
isn't it Botman or whatever?
And no, Sven Botman has he?
Botman, yes, Botman back there too. Yeah,
Botman, Shaw, and Dan Burn.
He played there against Wolves. He played against
Wolves.
That's not the worst.
Matty Target is the left wing back. My point is they do play with wing backs, so he may match them up. So you guys might be losing it on. I wouldn't. I'd go 4-3-3. I like what you guys are saying, but I won't be shocked if he knows that they played that system under how pretty much the last 3-4 games with the wing back. So I wouldn't be surprised if he do it again. To match them up might make a lot of sense on Saturday, but again, we'll see. And we won some games. We've won some games at Newcastle. I mean, we did lose the last game to Almiron's goal, but before that, when I think Gyro scored that goal, we won, and we won a couple of years ago with a 1-0 win. So we have one out there. So it's a game we definitely. So it's not like it's unwinnable game. So
yeah, look, we struggled though last time against Newcastle away from home. I don't know if you guys.
I just said we lost. We lost.
And not only did we lose, it was after the Chelsea game and. Boy, our performance was pathetic. It was. Yeah. And they're going to be up for it. Look, Newcastle are going to be up for it just like Brentford were up for it. And so Newcastle, you saw it against Wolves as well. You do have a chance of beating them. It's not like they've turned into Chelsea or even Chelsea this season ain't that great. Or like a Man City or Liverpool. You know, you can still beat them. They've got unlucky against Brighton. They should have beat Brighton. But then against Wolves, you know, counter-attack in the last minute, they managed to get a point. So it can go either way. But for us, I think we stick to our game plan. And this is the big if. If it doesn't work, then you make the changes. You don't just go 5 at the back and invite pressure all of a sudden. Just stick on your faith. Like, just stick with your actual
players.
Yeah.
Need more players.
Maybe we'll see who we get in before Thursday. You never know.
Yeah.
Real quick thing on Newcastle. So they don't play with wing backs. First of all, they play 4 at the back. Last 3 matches, they're going 4 at the back. So Dan Burn is their left back, technically. But they do what we do. And when they go into attacking phase, Dan Burn goes back into a left center back role and they push up Kieran Trippier. So they're back 4 against Wolverhampton, Tranmere Rovers, and not Tranmere, not that one, but Man City, 3-3 game against Man City. Burns at left back, Botman and Sher at center back, and then Trippier is on the right side.
Dan Burn at left back.
Yeah, so because I was talking, so Patrick,
oh yeah, bro, I'm warming to release it more now.
Patrick, remember when I was saying
you said that, like I'm looking at it's obviously wrong. They have a preview for tomorrow. They have Burn, Botman, and Sher, and then they have Target left wing back and Murphy at right mid. I'm looking at 3-4-3 right now, but they haven't started Matt Target in these last few games. Oh, okay.
Because that's remember I was talking about the whole Jamal Lewis thing about him not getting action.
He got an obsession with Jamal Lewis, man. I love it.
No, because I was talking about us. No, me and Patrick were having a conversation about left back cover. Me and Patrick were talking about left back cover, and I said he was a good candidate for left back.
Jamal Lewis.
Wow. He loves Jamal Lewis, AJ.
I said he's an option.
Man crush, bro.
Man, y'all funny, man.
Jamal Lewis.
Y'all gonna let me finish, man.
There's nothing to finish, Steve. Sorry, mate. Like, wow, I think you finished yourself.
All right, man. Y'all go ahead.
You made me laugh in the game.
Y'all go ahead, man.
It's the fact that we had the earlier stream as well, T, and you came in, and the first name you said Jamal Lewis.
That is true. Don't say that wasn't true.
For left back cover. Yes, he was the name. Because he's not getting any time right now. He's played in the Premier League. He's not going to cost us a lot of money. He's a good option. That's it.
Yeah. No.
Or would you rather keep putting Ward on? Or would you rather keep putting Ward on your left hand side? That's all I'm saying.
Listen, man.
Then Jamal Lewis, boy, I don't know. That's tighter than you think it is.
Man, you crazy if you think that. Please.
Wait, so hang on. Jamal Lewis that got relegated with Norwich and then nearly got relegated with Newcastle. Is that the same Jamal Lewis you're talking about?
Oh boy!
You act like Jamal Lewis was the reason they got.
I'm just asking. Yes, sometimes you can't disagree.
Same guy. Yes, same guy.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Can't even get into the island squad. That Jamal Lewis. That one.
All right, AJ. We got a couple of guys
for them.
AJ, man, always great talking to you, brother. All right, we got a couple people waiting in the waiting room, but you going to Newcastle?
Nah, you're right.
No, exactly.
Have you seen me waiting? My vertigo wouldn't be able to take it, mate.
A heart attack. Brother, we'll talk to you on Saturday, right?
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, man. Take care, man. Appreciate you, man. Hello, Luke. Welcome to.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What would you like to say?
I think it's just like last season, really, where we dropped a lot of points from winning positions. Like we can remember, like the Leicester game at home last season, and then the Brighton game at home last season. We just dropped points tonight as well.
No, Luke. We came back against Leicester. Remember?
Oh yeah.
But it's your points will take in Newcastle.
But we still did drop points.
No. You can't drop point, but you come from behind. But I want to be clear. Let's not, But anyway, guys, sorry.
But I think my point is that it's just too many draws. We can't like last season, 15 draws. Like we can't be drawing against these types of teams. If we want to get top half, we've got to beat the likes of Brentford and the Newcastle,
Liverpool.
The Newcastle.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Let him finish, Patrick.
The Newcastles and the Brentfords of this world. We've got to beat them. If we want to get top half, we've got to beat these types of teams. So these are the games that we must win. It's just, I think Zaha's goal was good tonight. It was nice to see a little bit of magic from him. Hopefully, it's not the last time. Hopefully, we get to see more this season. Mateta had a poor game tonight. He didn't look on it. Elise had a really good game, and then I thought Wardy had a good game until up to the goal.
Luke, how was Edward? In your opinion?
Well,
I'm being serious. No, I'm being serious.
What? Okay.
I want a different opinion. I'm being very serious.
Okay. Edward's been okay this season. His link-up play has improved. But what he needs to do more is try and get into the box.
Yeah.
Make those runs into the box. The link-up play and everything's all right, but it's being there at the right time, really. And I feel like that's where Mateta is better. He's there at the right time. If you're putting a cross into even Mateta's there. Edward's not there. So, and with Mateta, his link-up play is not great, but Edward is better at that. That's what I think.
There's your answer, Patrick.
That's fine. Totally respect what you just said. Seriously, I know your opinion. His opinion. I like to get other people's opinion on Edward because I know I'm very.
You don't even know my opinion about Edward today. You don't even know my opinion about Edward. I haven't spoken about Edward.
You loved him today.
As I already told you, I'm not Eze versus Mateta. I'm not Edward versus Mateta.
Nah. There's the guy who wrote in the chat today. Oh, Edward fell over his own feet. You're not anti-Mateta?
Was that not a fact? Was that not? I said it was funny. That's all I said. It was funny. And you know that was funny. That man toppled.
I didn't laugh. I don't laugh at Mateta.
I had to laugh at that man. I
take that man very seriously.
But
a hero.
I feel like we need Sarr in this window. Sarr, from what I feel like we need him because.
Interesting. Why? Where's he going to play, Luke?
Why?
Where's he going to play?
Because I feel like.
What will his 5 goals do?
We get to have that option where we can actually put Wilf up top and then either put Sarr on the left or him on the right. I feel like we have.
Where would Sarr play though? Because he plays on the right, where we already have Elise and Ayew and even Ibuye. Where are you going to play Sarr? He doesn't like playing on the left.
We can put him on the left.
But he doesn't like to play there. I mean, he doesn't do it. He hasn't done it for Watford. Does it for Senegal every once in a while. He likes to play on the right. Look, he doesn't like to. You know what I mean? So, and as T just said, he's had five goals. I mean,
dude hasn't had a double-digit scoring season. What, since he was in League One? Did he have one when he was in Rennes?
Champion. I'm going to look it up.
He had a good season, and then he kind of like fell off. I don't know. There's a reason why I started at Watford. There is a reason for that.
I'm not. My thing is, I'm not paying 30 million for him.
Yeah, I don't understand it. If it's talking about Zaha replacement, you want to get someone on the left hand side, and also Ibuye can play that as well. And Ibuye, which he's been very good every time. Even when he came on against Oxford, he was solid. I just wanted to give him a chance, man. Let's get
Neymar in.
I mean, we got the money.
You know what? Let's go buy Haaland. Why not? If you want to finish Europe,
you think they'll sell him?
You want to finish European spots, huh?
Hey, D, I like a cheeky bid on Thursday for Haaland. 150 million. What do you think?
Let's get him. If you want to finish European spots, Paris, you need to be serious. Haaland, Neymar, let's do it.
I agree, D. On that point, you're right. He's not serious. If he doesn't Haaland, he's not serious, man. He's not serious.
Texter on the phone.
By the way, we have a live show on Thursday as well, 9 to 11 p.m. UK time, so don't miss that. I just thought I'd plug that. But yeah.
Do you think we'll get Gallagher?
Or no? Sorry, just 1 second. Sure. T, you're right. At Rennes 558, Watford 5. Oh, sorry, 13. 2021. He had 13 goals for Watford in the championship.
Okay. In the championship.
So I mean, but hey, you know what I mean? Glenn Murray lit up the championship, so I gotta give him credit. So go ahead, Luke. Sorry.
Do you think we get Gallagher or no?
I seriously doubt it, but I don't know how. I know I'd like to get him back because I think he would add something, but I just think the circumstances of the amount of money, who's in for him, knowing Palace as I do, as far as we can't break our record for Gallagher. We just can't do that.
And Chelsea's central midfield situation is so terrible right now. Like
it's pretty bad, and they lost again to Southampton.
It's bad. And dude, do you realize that Loftus-Cheek is playing right wing back for them right
wing
now?
Back, exactly. He's a midfielder by trade. I know.
Like,
I'd love him back, Luke. I just don't see it happening.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it, honestly.
And if we do get him, Chelsea will put a buyback clause on him.
100%. You're absolutely right. A great point. You know, I hadn't thought about that. If we even get a loan with the option to buy, there'll be some kind of buyback clause at a certain amount, or like with Gahey, where they have to get, right of first refusal or whatever, some ridiculous. But I wouldn't worry about that. But you're right about that. That's a great point. There's going to be a buyback in this at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Chelsea will probably want lots anyway, because considering their midfield options,
I think West Ham might be in for him too, and that's going to drive the price up, man. Like I told D before in our previous stream, whenever West Ham gets involved, we lose. Bowen. Yeah.
Look,
Flynn Downs.
We're gonna bring on Stan in a second because he's got his.
As a matter of fact, y'all can bring Stan on. I'm gonna hop off.
All right, T, man.
I gotta go pick up my keys.
All right, man. Great seeing you, man.
All right, man.
Take care, bro.
Yep.
Peace out.
Okay, let's bring on Stan. We'll do a transfer show another day. Don't worry, we've done a transfer show even today as well, earlier on at 5 p.m. So make sure to check out that stream. Stan, the floor is yours. Palace won, Brentford won. You're back.
I'm back. The fans were asking in the show the other day where I am, so I'm just letting you all know.
You had the burner account. You're sniping away. Where's Stan? What would you like to say, man? What do you think of that?
It's probably going to echo like what a lot of people have said, but very, very stupid changes, like controlling the game, loads of shots on target. They had 2 shots on target the whole game before their goal. Like you bring on Luka, and automatically last 10 minutes it goes to pot. Why has he gone 5 at the back against that lot? They're a mid-table Premier League team. We were controlling the game. Olise, a bit rusty at first, but once he got into it, decent enough. Eze took him off, just nullified any threat. We only had Zaha through the middle as a lone striker. Listen, they've dropped 2 points. I think some of the stuff on social media is a bit ridiculous, where like people are making up songs about Vieira this, Vieira that. Like, it's early in the season. But there's a couple of things that I would say. Firstly, the board and Dougie Friedman and Steve Parish and whoever's involved in this shit, they need to go out before the end of day on Thursday and buy some players. They need to go out and buy some players. They're leaving it late again, which is silly. I'm sure they've had the opportunity to try and buy players. Obviously, we lost out on Flynn Downs. There's been a couple of others been linked with. They need to go and buy 2 or 3 players, or we are light. And there's a club that apparently has ambitions to finish top 10 this season. I don't think that's going to happen unless we buy a couple of players. And otherwise, we're going to end up 14th to 16th, in my opinion. That's what,
you have to be fair. We have bought players. We bought Richards. We bought Doucouré. We got Johnston and Bowie in. So, but I know what you're saying. But we have bought players.
And the reason why I don't agree with left it late is because with Conor Gallagher, he wanted to try out at Chelsea, right? So he's had a few games now, and clearly it's not working out.
Not working.
And
right.
now is the right time to go for him, because it seemed like maybe Conor and Chelsea might be willing for him to leave. With Wan-Bissaka, we can't even get him now because Man United haven't signed a replacement as a right back.
Now we're stammering for him. I get it, but there's surely other players on Palace's radar. Like we lost out on Flynn Downs 6 weeks ago, and there's been nothing.
Yeah, he didn't want to come to play. He's a West Ham fan.
Vieira spoke about this, and Vieira said that there are some players that we do try to go out for, and they don't want to join us or it's too expensive. So it seemed like the deals that we've tried to go for, it just hasn't worked out one way or another. But listen, look, people talk about the midfield in particular, but we have strengthened the midfield and Cheikh Doucouré.
I thought he was excellent today. I thought he was superb.
He was great. And of course, we need that one midfielder, but finding a Gallagher type replacement, I know people talk about they mention Aouar and all them. I don't think he's Gallagher replacement for me personally. I don't think there's many players out there that would fit right in like Conor Gallagher because he knows the system. We know his strengths as well, and he fits at Palace. So it's been a waiting game, and maybe we could have got other players, but we have tried. We have tried with other midfielders. We tried with Flynn Downs. It didn't work out. We tried. It seemed like it was getting mentioned as well. So, I'd rather we get the right player than rush and get another midfielder that we're not totally convinced on or we overspend on it. Because as much as we need players, we're not in a situation where we need another midfielder. I agree. If we do want to finish top 10, or top 7 maybe, but we don't need it desperately.
Okay, I agree. Vieira's second season, he had a good season last year when he finished 12th. We're in danger of regressing at this moment in time. And we haven't learned. We're still conceding goals in the last 5 minutes of games. We haven't really learned based on so far this season. 7 points dropped from winning positions. I get one of them was with Man City. Their team's unreal, etc., etc. That third goal, we get it. It's different. But this is what I'm saying. Like, everyone's trying to be positive. But
Liverpool also, you can't. But Liverpool, Stan, I mean, we got a point on Liverpool we probably shouldn't have gotten. So I know we were ahead, but you're going to consider that a drop point, really, against Liverpool away.
Again.
I mean, that's not fair.
In my opinion, it was a weaker Liverpool team. But look, they've got players that can change games right at any time, right? So we can't, we're not going to go too much into that. But
beat Bournemouth 9-0 on the weekend.
Well, there you go. Exactly.
That's not weakened to me. That's not weakened team to me. I mean, I don't understand your point. They beat Bournemouth 9-0. How are they weakened?
To be fair to Stan, Liverpool were struggling with midfielders and they did have a few injuries and. They beat Bournemouth 9-0, but even against Manchester United in that game, they struggled as well. Liverpool they haven't performed bad, but they have struggled at games this season. They're not the same Liverpool in terms of
they say Liverpool teams. That last year won the FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League finals, and
but they haven't started the season like that, Patrick.
I understand that, Deep, but it's Liverpool. You can't say you.
Yeah, of course, and it's at Anfield as well. So
two of their best players are gone. You've got Mane's gone. And who's the other Donny that's out? Alcantara, Thiago's out for them.
Right, and they scored 9 goals.
There's a lot of players out for Liverpool.
Yeah. There's a lot of players out for them.
Still scored 9 goals against Bournemouth.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Fired, so.
What are we? 4-5? We're 5 points after 5 games. Okay, yep. Brighton are 5 points ahead of us already. Yeah, they lost to Fulham today, but they're 5 points ahead of us already. They haven't had this easy run of fixtures that they had last season. This is what I'm saying. We're falling behind. Next few games: Newcastle, United, Brighton, Chelsea. This is, Prime today should have kept the best team out. Maybe one change here, little tactical switch here and there. He got it wrong. It's not good enough. One thing I want to touch on: those strikers. Mateta today, shocking, absolutely terrible. He fell over more times than he touched the ball. Absolutely terrible today. Really, really bad. And Edouard, mate, what does he do? Really and truly, what does he do? He can't hit he couldn't hit a, what's it called?
He does more than Mateta, I'll tell you that. He's done that so far. He does more than Mateta. Mate. He's done that so far this season.
Honestly.
But I'm telling you, Edouard and Mateta, they're both not, they're both.
But the pair of them are shit,
there
mate.
isn't one option.
Really and truly, so far this season, all right, Mateta's come on, he's scored a goal. But the pair of, they're not good enough. They're not good enough. And we've gone 10 Premier League seasons nearly without having a striker that could put the ball in the onion bag. It's shocking.
It takes time though. But Stan, we've signed a lot of players, and end of the day, look, we are Palace.
And we've got it wrong. We've got it wrong.
But, Mark,
what have we got wrong? What did we get wrong?
We're going to get to strikers. We got it wrong today. We got it wrong 100%. 100%.
Not today. But you said signing strikers. How we got it wrong? We signed Benteke. He scored 70 goals his first season. I mean,
yeah, one season. He's not done it consistently, has he?
Well, he was injured a lot of that time, Stan. He was injured a lot of that time. He was injured for almost a whole season.
Listen,
he never really recovered from that. So, anyway, I'm going to give you a quote from Vieira. What's important is having the feeling we did the right thing. Looking at the changes that we did in the last couple of games they played, they go to a back five or a 3-4-3 really often. Talking about Brentford, we were clear how we wanted to defend. It's about how you put the pressure on the ball to stop the crosses. The second point is how you defend the crosses. This is something that mentally we have to be better, defending in the box. You can't have players unmarked in the box like that.
Listen.
Yeah, I hear what you're trying to say. I know that he's done his research. I get that.
Right.
But look, I talked about Man United, Liverpool, right? Recently, when that game happened, Man United were not favourites going in. And the reason why Man United won that game, they outrun Liverpool and they done the basics. Sometimes football, you can't overthink it. Look at the game, how it's going. Brentford didn't have any problem. We didn't have any problems with dealing with Brentford's crosses, even though they changed it up.
They weren't crossing.
We didn't. But by changing it up,
until we changed it to a back five.
Yeah, by changing it up, what Vieira's theory about Brentford's crosses, that did happen because we allowed them to put crosses in the box. And we couldn't have any crosses. So it's good to look at the game and seeing how it goes. But look, go on, Sam.
Ivan Toney for them, he did nothing. Anderson had him in his pocket all game. Yeah. He changes the system. Boom, there you go. Honestly,
Toney didn't score the goal. It was a sub. It wasn't Toney Reese that scored the goal.
But I think his point is
it doesn't matter. If your point being that he made a change that was wrong, the player that he made the change, it was a sub that scored the goal. You can't blame him for a sub scoring a goal. You're talking about Tony.
Patrick. But the point that you're missing is
not match.
Patrick, the point you're missing is not about Toney and him. We know he didn't score the goal.
Any point.
But our point is,
I'm not missing any point. I know what you guys are saying.
Our point is defensively we were solid. We didn't have any problems.
We were solid.
Tony's a very good striker. We kept him in our pocket, which shows how good we were defensively. At any point of the game, their main attacker, Toney, or any of the attackers, we didn't have any trouble with them, dealing with them. I think that's my point.
None of them.
That's what
and Bruno was so far isolated on the right wing. He did nothing. But as soon
they
as
brought on Wisa is another striker. Do you guys get that point?
He's
another forward.
That's how they didn't cause problems.
What?
Listen,
but anyways,
he scored the goal. He scored the goal. He's not going to score the goal. But
when he did come on, the game didn't change until we changed ourselves. But look, we shouldn't repeat our points.
Going back to it, he's got to stop bringing Luca on for 10 minutes because it kills us. Okay.
Dan, he was fine before today. He was fine and he didn't do nothing wrong. He was fine before today.
I agree with that with Patrick.
He was fine before today.
And in fact,
today I agree, but he was fine before today. That's not fair. He was fine. The last time he brought him on. Luca did a great job seeing out the games. He just did. Liverpool was fine. Villa, he was fine. Today, it wasn't his fault, but bringing him on was a mistake because, like he said, two-man midfield, he's not good in. He can't play in a two-man midfield. He doesn't have the legs for it.
Stan, I think that's what it is. I don't think
that's not fair.
Luca this season has surprised me because I've been coming on here and talking about Luca as a super sub because it has worked. He has come the game. He has come on and he has controlled the game.
But I'm just saying, it's the same tactic every single week. Every single week, same tactic brings him on. Like he's going to come a cropper. Like you said, he can't play in two-man midfield. Decore needed Essien next to him.
Yeah.
You know, I know Will Hughes wasn't there, but Will Hughes better option, right? But
no, if he's not on the bench, you can't bring him on. He's not on the bench. But I know what you're saying, yeah, but he's not on the bench. You can't bring him on, can you? You can't bring on Killian Phillips. I mean, he clearly wanted to make a sub, right? So who's he bring in? Clearly, all right, you got your options are Killian Phillips, Katie Roddy played midfield before.
You know what? I'd have kept it as it was. I'd have kept Schlupp on for 90 minutes, mate. I'd have kept him on. He's got.
And if you make a mistake again, you're going to kill Schlupp. I mean, you make a mistake again, you'll kill Schlupp the same way. And Schlupp didn't have a great game today.
As well.
He wasn't great today. He wasn't
great.
Today.
But
honestly, guys, I think we're talking about Luca. We're talking about Schlupp. Right. Honestly, sometimes football's simple. I didn't think Brentford would cause our trouble. I didn't think Brentford would cause our trouble.
One mistake. Yeah, one mistake.
Yeah, look, Brentford wasn't causing our trouble. We should have kept with the back four. We should have continued how it is. Maybe made one or two changes. And kept.
You don't need to make 5 subs all the time. I know Roy made no subs, but he could have just switched it. Maybe took Elise on Ayew. Could have took him off just a short, just block up that right hand side, whatever. Bring Ayew on, etc., etc. I get that, but I just think we've thrown it away today. We really have, and there's 4 really hard games coming up, and we could be looking down rather than up because of today.
The first 5 were harder than the next 5. They were.
You reckon we're going away to Newcastle and getting something? Not a chance, mate.
We have in the past.
Not a hope.
Go back and look at it. We go back. We won 2 of the last 3 away. Go look at this. We won 2 of the last 3 games. We won away.
Bruno Guimaraes is going to destroy that. He's going to destroy us. So Maximan going to get destroyed.
He's not even playing. He's not playing. He's injured. He's not even playing. He's not even playing. Callum Wilson's not playing. So Maximan's not playing. So how can you destroy him if they're not playing? They're not even playing. Isaac's not playing. So it's going to be Chris Wood we have to worry about and Bruno Guimaraes. And of course, we worry about the kid from Venezuela, from Paraguay. And he always scores against us now. So yeah.
Miggy. There you go. So listen, mate.
One player we got to worry about. We lose. But it's only because of, say, Maximum or Callum Wilson, because they're not playing.
Honestly, like I said, players by Thursday and move on. Very disappointing. You know, I do personally think Vieira should have come out today and gone, that was on me. Tactical stupidity. Let's move. That's what he should have done rather than go, the reason we did this, the reason we did that. Don't bullshit, man. Like, it's dumb. Like, everyone knows it's stupid. Do you know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. But look, he doesn't have to come out and say that. I'm not that fussed about that. We know. Well, I know. That's what I think. I think it was his fault. It's happened before. He just has to learn from it. He just can't keep repeating the same mistakes.
He does.
We should have won that game.
He does.
We should have won that game. But look, we came out with a point. It is what it is. We've been on here for 1.5 hours.
Whoa!
And people are still talking about Edward. Our problems are bigger than Edward.
I'm sorry.
I mean, how many chances? Mateta can't. Anyways, let me not get into Mateta. Yeah, look, we it's disappointing. We should have came out with 3 points. We didn't. And yeah, we have to look at ourselves. I think it was our fault. First of all, defensively, in terms of conceding a goal, we should have done better with that. There's that, and also with the formation and the changes, we shouldn't have changed it when it was working out so well. We overcomplicated it. We looked too much into it, and you can tell we overcomplicated it based on what Patrick just said right now about Vieira's post-game comments about Brentford changing up. We'll back 5, back. They can change it up. We played against teams with back 5, back 3. Just because they change it up, it doesn't mean that we need to. We will control the game.
Okay. You have to adjust, though.
No. But Patrick, But Patrick, they change it up, yeah. And at that point, they change it up. We didn't need to adjust because Brentford didn't give us any major threats. It's still the same old story. They had 2 shots on target before that change. Then it changed. They didn't. They didn't cause.
To be honest, we could have lost that game if it weren't for Guay. We'd have probably lost the game.
Exactly. We could have potentially lost the game.
But you know what?
If Brentford's tactical changes cause us a problem, fair enough, change it up. But we just overthought that. We looked too much into it.
That just shows you how much we capitulated because we probably should have lost the game. If it wasn't for Guaita, we'd have lost it. Yeah, that just shows you how much we capitulated. One more thing. The club posts these Ayew Edward videos of them banging it top bins in training. Stop posting it. They don't do it in a game.
It doesn't matter, bro. It's just content.
Dead, wow. It's
dead.
But
it doesn't matter. Why does training post? Of course, when it's training and he's not getting marked by anybody and he's literally playing against a dummy and taking a one touch. I saw that Ayew post today. It's an open goal. Of course, he's going to score in training. It's not a big problem. Like, geez, training and
why should they not post it? In their defense, Zaha's videos have been on. Zaha's gotten a lot better from those practicing and training. So I don't care what you guys say. I've seen Zaha bang him in practice and bang him in the game.
Look, we got bigger problems on the pitch. We do have training videos is the least of my concerns. I don't care what they're doing training.
You know what? I'm just saying. I don't see Edward in this team. I don't see him. Like
I think Mateta. I don't see neither.
I'm with D. Both of them have to improve.
I think he's 100%. A huge flop. He's a huge flop. I think.
I wouldn't go too far. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think he's a flop.
He is. What's he done, mate? He's done nothing.
Yeah. Scored against Oxford last week.
He has done. Let's not act like he hasn't done nothing. When he first joined us, he had the run of games, and he's actually decent for us. Then before Christmas or after Christmas, just after Christmas, he just got dropped, and then he just didn't get the chances, and then it seemed like he's lost his confidence. Look, he's still got 2 goal contributions this season. You know, before the Man City game, he scored a goal.
You still gonna think with that bad touching Aston Villa? I'm not having that one, man.
Patrick, you talk about bad touch. Look, you're talking about bad touch. I don't want to say this, but Mateta can barely run. Forget about the ball on his feet. He was crumbling over him, like he was tripping over himself.
Like I said, Mateta today should get fined 2 weeks' wages for that performance. It was that bad.
He wasn't that bad. Come on, man.
It was that bad.
It wasn't that bad. But look,
I'm sorry, man. Like, you know, what are we looking for? Oh, we can't do the deals. We ain't got this. We ain't got that. We're back to square one. It looks like it. We're back to, the club ain't got the money. The club ain't got this. The club ain't got that. Go and get some players.
Where have you heard that, Stan? We have no money. Where'd you hear that?
Well, you just said, Vieira's come in and said the players that we want, they don't want to come, or we can't do the deal, we can't pay the money.
But then you don't want to be all right. Look, but we're not Man United where they're spending.
I'm not saying that
on Anthony. Teams can. But every player has a value. We have a value for them. The clubs have a value.
And we have a budget.
If let's say Conor Gallagher, if let's say Chelsea value Conor Gallagher at 60 million, just like us. Hold on. First of all, with Wilfried Zaha, we valued him so highly in previous seasons, about 70 million pounds. Teams have said no. Yeah. But that could be the case. That just because we don't want to overspend on a player, it doesn't mean that we don't have the money. We do have the money, but we just want to be sensible. And so far, Stan, they have been sensible and it has worked. So you have to give credit when it's due. Dougie and Steve Parish or whoever's running the transfers, it has worked out for them. We've made some excellent signings. At least at £8 million. Mark Gahey, less than £25 million. Joachim Madison. We paid good prices for good players. And that's a strategy that has worked.
I don't disagree, but we are short. We are short players.
We are short.
We don't have someone that can score goals apart from Will.
That's not going to change. That's not changing before Thursday. We're not getting a striker. There's no chance. This is a loan. And then if it's a loan, we know I'm a Mateta type. It's not going to. We're not getting a striker. We're going to focus on left back, right back, midfield. We're not getting a striker because who could you get? Everyone wants a striker. Brighton wants a striker.
But look. But look, let's wrap it up. We've been going on for ages. We still got to player ratings that we're going to record. That will be dropping tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be talking about Edward and all that. So we still got more content coming your way, and also we'll be having transfer updates as they come. Make sure to check out our previous updates. We posted one yesterday and today before the game as well. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.
Eagles.